Hi, hello everyone. Very excited about this live through Polka Dots. Hiral will be joining us soon, and we can actually go through her fantastic journey. Very excited about it. Hiral is here. Hello, what's
Hi.
up? So
Hi.
happy you
Fine.
finally.
Yes.
Amazing. So good to see. I know your hair looks nice, and you look lovely.
Thank
So
you. Thank you so much. You look lovely too.
thank you. Be kind. So before we start, I just wanted to talk a little about Hiral. She is a contemporary artist and she's the owner of the brand House of Hiral. And she creates some amazing, stunning pieces. She sent me the brochure yesterday and I was like so impressed seeing those. And, she's had quite a journey. And we at Polka Dots thought, why not share it with everyone? Because it's always good to take inspiration from people who've had like an amazing, learnings through their experiences. And her art has actually found places in Jahangir Art Gallery and even at the Raj Bhavan in Bangalore. That's correct, right? Yeah, and she's worked with Payal Singhal, the Grandma's Cafe. She's like done the works, and I'm so proud of you, Hiral. So yeah, so I think we should get the conversation going, and tell us something about. I know you were you were from a corporate background, and how did this transition really occur? Why an artist? When did that strike you?
So idly, I would never imagine in my life that I'm going to be an artist. And apart from that, from childhood, I used to think that this industry does not work and, there's no business in being an artist and all of that. The myth which the society feels or thinks that, इसमें पैसा नहीं मिलेगा. So I thought that, I used to get inspired by others and I thought like, why not be an HR and join the corporate? And I joined TCS. I worked there for 2.5 years, and I realized that no, this is not my calling. This is not something which I want to be, and this place is not for me at all. Mm-hmm. So after that, I started sketching, and I thought that what, I feel so happy, I feel so healed, and I feel so calm when I paint. So that's when my journey as an artist started.
That is really interesting because we are all conditioned with our stereotypical environment, right? We all feel that we should be safe, and anything that is outside our safety net is scary. But you took a very firm call. You decided that, hey, and at a very young age, you're only like 30 something, right? So you decided, yeah, so you're like really young. So, but you decided very early on that, hey, this is not my cup of tea and I want to do something different. And I just wanted to understand that, was it a natural tendency for you to be an artist? Like, were you always very fond of art as a kid growing up, or you just discovered it on the way?
So I always used to doodle, and, just doodling, for time being, or just anyone who doodles on the notebooks and everywhere. So that's what I had started with. And then after that, when I thought of becoming an artist, I don't think I'm a born artist. I mean, there's a lot of learning which comes from there. There's always a learning curve. And art is so subjective that anyone can be an artist, and anyone, can paint. And everyone has their own genres of painting. So that's what I think. And when I started with art, say 4 years ago, if I'm going to show you my paintings, you'll see, that my paintings were so mediocre. And with practice, I think it's reached somewhere else. So practice is really very important.
So just talent is not good enough. It has to be coupled with talent.
Yes.
Very important lesson to learn. I already have 2 lessons, by the way. First, break healing. I mean, you don't have to be in your comfort zone, shake out of it. You don't have to adhere to conditioning or stereotypical, environment. And secondly, talent is just not good enough. Tell us more about, was it scary? Because, when you get used to a very stable, comfortable income, which TCS was giving you. I know you were heading the HR and you had 200 people under you. You were the boss, and then suddenly, to be in this road way of uncertainty, right? I mean, suddenly a shift from certainty to uncertainty. How did you take that?
It was something which, so I'll tell you the whole journey. During that time, I was shifting from Bangalore to Mumbai.
Right.
And I was getting married. And in the interim, there were a lot of things going on. And yeah, there was a lot of uncertainty because, I was really very independent. I had everything where, if I want to get something for me or, I had a steady income. But
Right.
when I started my business, I restarted the whole journey again of a career. There were many times I was not confident. There were many times, you get into this emotional breakdowns. There are many times where you feel, okay, fine, I think I'm not going to do it. And then again, you sleep and the next morning you restart again.
Yeah.
I think that happened for me. And I think persistence works a lot. And any startup business does struggle initially until they are clear with, their USP, until they are clear with how exactly they can go about their business, understanding what they can do. So, yeah.
I totally resonate with that. And that there goes my third learning, right, from you, that you got to be, it is going to be a roller coaster. Nobody really knows. Like the fact that you mentioned that the USP has to be discovered. So also you are a startup and you come with like a million ideas, but then you need to sort of narrow it down and shortlist that, hey, it works for me and this is how I'm going to do it. But, I have met many women who are incredibly talented, Hiral, and they are so scared to jump in and take that risk, right? I mean, you are probably one of those who said that, what the hell, let me just jump into it. I love it. I want to do it. So be it. And you took that call. And I know you took 2 years to sort of, get completely stabilized in your business. Now, touch wood, you're doing fabulously well. You can't even take us. But you said something about persistence, that there were times when you just you felt knocked off, but you picked yourself up. How did you do that? I mean, I think we all struggle there. It would be lovely to know.
So I think when you feel knocked off, it's the worst feeling ever. I think, it pricks your heart somewhere and you struggle, you try every possible means, you become desperate. You just try every way possible to get there. And, initially what I had started doing when I was desperate was that I started branding and marketing for myself. Right. And when I started doing that wasn't a successful venture. I'm saying that as well. But, after that, I came to realize that, I went into a wrong direction. I was supposed to be more business savvy. I was supposed to understand about business. I was supposed to understand what people want. And I was supposed to understand how does my work go in sync with what they want. So even while I was having an emotional breakdown, and even though I knew that I'm enjoying painting, it's, of course, passion takes you to places. If there was a certain work where I was not passionate about and I was just forcing myself to do it, like, काम करना है, खत्म करके वापस घर चले जाएंगे. So, that's not something which I was into. I'm sorry, my Hindi is bad. So, yeah, I think my passion for art made me kept on going, and also wanting to learn and wanting to expand, or, wanting to do something in this field. It just kept me going. And yeah.
Driver, and not really filling in those hours, or not just sometimes we want to be in the delusion that, but you know what, I'm busy, and fill in your hours. You need not, you're busy doing something, but does it have an impact? Does it have a purpose? So would you want to elaborate on that? Because you did mention that you were driven by passion and not just the source of income, or not just for survival, and there's a very clear demarcation there.
Sorry, your voice got cut in between. Could you please repeat the last
Sure.
sentence?
I was just saying that you did mention that you got driven by passion and not because of just filling in those hours or just being busy. Would you want to elaborate a little more on that?
Okay. So the reason it started with passion and not being busy is, okay. Now talking about busy. All right. So there are a lot of people. Firstly, I would like to point this out somewhere that, a lot of people, a lot of after marriage or a lot of women today, I'm sure I'm going to be very honest here. A lot of people, they say, okay, you're keeping yourself busy. That's amazing. It's not about being busy. It's about having a vision. It's about having a passion. It's about something which you enjoy doing. And, with that vision or passion, I'm going to do that my whole life. It's not about being busy there. It's about, my paintings, they are generally, a lot of my customers say that they are vibrant, they are colorful, they give a happy vibe. It's
Right.
all about, you enjoy doing it and someone else loving it. So it's not only being busy here. And a lot of women today, I'm sure even you would agree that, a lot of people say, oh, good, you're keeping yourself busy. That's amazing.
Right. No, but
So,
it's cool. There's one learning in my life, and I always keep telling everybody that I meet that the biggest contribution, the biggest thing that you can give back to the society is just be happy. Because when you are happy, everybody around you is
yeah,
happy. I mean,
yeah,
everybody puts on that happy energy. So if you're happy, just work on yourself and you're fine. And you exactly resonated that, right? You said, I feel so happy painting this, that you actually spread joy, imprint that joy on the canvas for others to enjoy, which
yeah,
is, yeah,
yes, true.
yeah,
And when we work on ourselves, and only then we'll be able to help someone else. And if we
right,
do not work on ourselves, it becomes very difficult where we would not be able to help anyone else.
correct.
So I would totally agree with that.
Yeah. But tell me in your journey of jumping the wagon from a corporate life to being an entrepreneur, a very passionate one at that. It wasn't something it was not like a tailor-made journey, right? When you
No.
sort of academics, you're gonna get your degree, you're gonna go for a job interview, you're gonna get a job, and then after certain years, if it's a very tailor-made journey, right? For most of us who get into a corporate world. But that shift when it happens to a very unstructured kind of an environment, of course, there is a lot of fear. There is a lot of fear of failure. And I know you mentioned that you started with diaries, which didn't really take up, and yet you did not give up. You got up and you said that, so what? Let's just adapt. So I think another big learning in this conversation is that you got to adapt. It's okay if you fail, but then you figure out uh, a solution. But I just want to know that how did you know that solution was correct? Like, what was your first big break, and that healer, the thing that gave you like a stamp of, okay, you know what, this is going to work. At what point in time you decided that no, I'm not going to give up, but I'm just going to keep going?
So when I had started painting and when I started painting on diaries, I thought this is a sellable item. People are going to buy books for sure, and people always want books. And then I came to realize that when I started painting on book covers, I started selling it for 500 rupees, which is not worth the detailing of artwork which I'm doing on a cover page. Firstly, and secondly, what happened was that the customers who I used to sell it to, those paintings used to not be saved. The wear and tear process of a diary used to take place.
Right.
So, it went for a super flop. It didn't work out well at all. And I had started giving it for free as well. I mean, I thought maybe that's going to work where people are going to see it and they're going to see my artwork and they're going to like it. Then I came to realize that, diary is something which I don't have to focus on. It is best that I start focusing on canvas.
Right.
So there was also someone who reached out to me and got my work commissioned for his exhibition at Dubai World Trade Center. And that was a major breakthrough for me with not having the fear of exploring different horizons where I can paint on canvas. And, someone else had the confidence that they can buy my artwork, that
Right.
my critics are good enough that it can be commissioned.
Right.
So, that gave me a lot of confidence. And speaking about fearlessness, I think all of us, we are fearful of something or the other. There's always something which we have where, we don't go ahead because of that.
Mm-hmm.
We this a little bit, okay, if this is going to happen, then how I can't go ahead. So I think fearlessness is something which is, very important today, because if we are going to have fear, I don't think any one of us will be able to move ahead.
Yeah, and I think the biggest success is if you can overcome your fear of failure, that is the only path to success. I mean, I can totally, sort of resonate with that. So
Yes.
I agree with you that, but one thing I'm very interested in knowing is that this person from Dubai, was he within your network? Was he?
So he was within my network, but a lot of people within the network, which I used to go for, they used to not order from me. I mean, I did not know how to pitch it right. But the person who ordered from me, he saw the aesthetics and he saw that, okay, my paintings can be sold through her artworks, and I think
Right.
her artworks are really good and I can sell it well. And if someone else has the confidence that they can sell their products having my artworks, I think
Right.
there's nothing bigger than that for me.
The reason why I asked that question is recently I read somewhere that your network is your net worth. And it really sort of caught my attention. And very often I also realize, specifically with women, right, that we
Yeah.
find it difficult to reach out to people. I don't know. I don't know if it's ego or if it's some kind of a hesitance, but people that we are known, our immediate friend circle, very few of us really reach out to them. We are like, नहीं वो पूछेंगे तो करेंगे, अगर उनको अच्छा लगा तो वो अपने आप ही मांग लेंगे, उनको पता तो है मैं कर रही हूँ, right? I mean, these are the normal the chain of thoughts that sort of crosses our mind. So that is another thing that, we, and I have realized one thing: when you ask, the answer more often than not, actually 99% of the time, it's a yes. So something, something to sort of leave everybody to think about, because like you said, that you had network, but you probably weren't reaching out to them. But then somebody from your network gave you the first break. So there's a learning there too. I mean, what do you think about that? Yeah.
Yeah. So I totally agree that, your network is your net worth. And also that, they do come back. And if they know that your work is really good, then they do come back. So that's the best feeling, when a person comes back and you realize that, okay, I think I am really good that the person has come back to me.
For sure. That's like a validation to the quality of work that so your network can give you entry, but to sustain it, your product has to be really good. So there is no doubt about it.
Yes.
But you have some really good names, right? Like Payal Singhal, and these are big names in the industry, and they've been in the industry for so long. They wouldn't commission their work to somebody if it didn't meet a certain standard. So how did the Payal Singhal story happen?
So I'll tell you, they've come back as well, by the way.
Congratulations.
So with Minerali Popley, I mean, I know him, he had come back. So basically it happened where, it happened through my network itself, where, somebody was looking for artworks. So I had worked for Minerali Popley first. And they had started with Minerali. They were launching Minerali, or they were celebrating the first year of Minerali. So that time they were making their calendars, and that's when I had sketched, the buildings of Kolaba, where I had sketched, the Gateway of India, Taj, Yacht Club, and everything else. And they loved working for me. And they were the intermediate people, they were the, what do you call that? Yeah. So they loved working for me. I mean, they loved me working for them. And, what I understand from the industry is that, yes, you have to be a good artist. You have to. But how you approach a person. People always like to be treated right. And I know that a lot of artists at a certain point, I mean, this can be my judgment. It could be subjective. So, if a person can deal with you properly, where you are easy to speak with, the flow is good, and if you can understand exactly what the person wants from you, and if you know that, I think that's good enough.
And
Because
communication is,
yes,
it's like sometimes you intend something. Communication is always two ways, and to
yes,
get into the person's mind is not easy, Hiral, because
it
sometimes
is
when you intend something, the perception or the interpretation can be totally different. So it's
true.
that is like a skill to sort of completely keep working on again and again. Yeah.
True. I think that is really very true. So as I was coming to Payal Singhal again, I'm sorry, I just
No, I'm trying to like list down all the learnings here because it's just good to pick up those. That's the takeaway we should all have. So yeah.
I'm glad. So yeah, so the same people who I was working with, they came back,
Right.
and they loved working for me. I mean, me working for them,
Yeah.
and they came back. So it's also the skill, but of course, you should understand a person very well to give exactly what they need, and that is very. I think that's the first skill, which I mean, it. I had that, but that's a very necessary skill, and maybe I must have learned that being an HR or understanding the psychology
Right.
of a person, maybe. But that really worked very well for me, and till date, I have got all my clients who had worked for 3 years ago coming back to me.
So that's another takeaway, right? That nothing goes waste. So even your
Not,
experience working as an HR consultant or like as an HR head really came to play here, right? I mean, and people skill is very important, right? Whatever your business is, because
yes,
eventually you are selling something, either a
yes.
service, a product, or your intelligence, whatever it is. So yeah, it's amazing. So many learnings. That is really.
Thank you so much, Shilpa. It really
I
means a
wanted
lot.
to ask. No, but I mean, I think at Polka Dots, that's what we're trying to do, right? I mean, assimilate everybody's journey.
I can't hear your voice. Um, yeah, I can hear you now, I think.
Did you lose me in the middle? Okay. No,
Yes,
I was just saying that at Polka Dots, this is what exactly they do.
yes.
So, Hiral, if you had to leave the audience with three learnings of yours, what would those three things be?
I think it would be to be fearless. I think, if we are not confident enough to ask something, or if we are not confident enough to take the first step, I think we are not going to reach anywhere.
Right.
And secondly, to keep improving your skills. I think that's very, very important. And third is that, you have to keep learning, and while you keep learning, you have to be persistent, and persistence is something which it does keep you going, but it will surely take you somewhere.
I love it. I think that really comes from the heart and absolutely from the experience that you've had. I mean, thank you so much for sharing that,
Thank you
Hiral.
so much.
If anyone
Thank you.
has any question for Hiral, we would love to get Hiral to answer that. And I'm just so grateful that Hiral came on the platform. She shared her journey, and honestly, more power to you, Hiral. I hope you go places. I know you will because you're persistent, you're hardworking, and you're very wise. You're you're constantly aware of what these learnings are, and you're implementing it. So proud of you.
Thank you so much, Shilpa. It really means a lot to me.
Yeah. And why people, I mean, there isn't any question yet. I think we
uh, this time, I think the algorithms have gone a little low, and I think once the COVID, people have started going out. I think during COVID, the algorithms were really very high, and a lot of people used to come. But I think,
yeah. Before we say bye to each other, I would also want to ask that what has been the biggest influence in your life? Like, was it a book? Was it a person? What was it? Like, what inspired you a lot?
um, I think a lot of things and a lot of people have inspired me, especially people who are really bold. Um, So I would not just say one person, but many people. I think I would also say the actress Priyanka Chopra. I think she's gone all globally, and I think these people, they have been fearless. These people, they knew what they want, and they knew that, if I want to do something, I have to take steps and, not back out. Oh God, I can't do it because, oh, I have to be with my family. Oh, I can't do it because, I'm getting a steady income. I have a job. So I think I may be just happy right here. I think fear is something which all of us have. All of us have that fear. But if we try to remove that fearlessness, I know that there is always something which stops us from doing things. There is always something inside where, we are always hesitant about. But if we try taking the first step, or even try to pretend and just take the first step and see that failure and then rise back again, I think having fearlessness, that would sort a lot of problems within us and indirectly with everyone else.
Awesome. I think there's one life, and then you got to live it up. And for that, you got to take certain risks. So, like you said,
Yes.
take a step. If you fail, you fail. Rise back. There is,
Yes.
You weigh your options, and more often than not, the upside is always more than the downside. So, yeah, if you're
Yes.
right choices. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Hiral. It was so lovely chatting with you. I really
Thank
enjoyed
you so much, Shilpa. Thank you so much for having me at your show, the Polka Dots show. It really means a lot to me. And it really means a lot coming from you, because I love your work. I've seen your work. I mean, it's very huge coming from you. So thank you so much.
I just hope that together as a community and as Polka Dot platform, we can really help each other bring out our best, because that's what we're here for. Everybody wins, right? It's a win-win situation. So good luck, and all the best always.
So much. Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.